What is up, guys and guyettes? And no, I don't mean lady guys, I just mean the ladies. Let's get into the upcoming breakdown for the card this weekend. Dricus du Plessis and Kamaru Usman. And guys, I am going to try to make this one a little shorter than some of my other breakdowns. They tend to run around 50-ish minutes. We're going to try to get through this, cut a little bit of the fat, because I'm just going to be honest with you. I have to turn my cooler off so it doesn't interrupt the audio, and it is hot out there, boys. It is a hot one. So we don't want to leave that cooler off too long. So we're going to get into this. I'm going to try. Some of you have mentioned in the comments wanting me to throw some graphics up on screen and things like that. As I've talked about, I'm new to this, so learning, trying to get better, trying to implement the things you guys are suggesting. And by the way, again, you guys have knocked it out of the park in that last video. The comment section has been awesome. The feedback has been awesome. I've enjoyed talking to every single one of you, so this has been great. Let's just keep building this, guys, brick by brick, day by day, coming for that crown. So let's get into it. But anyways, yeah, I'm going to try to add some graphics to like some fighter graphics for each match I'm talking about. So since I'm kind of new, just give me feedback on that, guys. You know, let me know how it goes. If you thought, you know, they was entered in the right time, if it all looked good, you know, I'm going to do the best I can. So yeah, just give me feedback on it. Anyways, let's get into it. So our first match, we've got Dricus du Plessis against Kamaru Usman. Looking at the stats right now, we got Dricus at 6'1", Kamaru 6 foot, both 185, obviously. Kamaru 39 years old, Dricus 32. They both have a 76-inch reach. Dricus significant strikes landed per minute 5.18, Kamaru's 4.16. Significant strike accuracy 51% on Dricus, 63%, nearly 64% on Kamaru. Takedown average for Dricus 2.22. Kamaru 2.79. Takedown accuracy for Dricus 51%. Kamaru Usman 44%. Then sub average Dricus at 0.71. Kamaru at 0.09. Kamaru not really a submission guy. He's a wrestler. I'm curious. Let's look at this. Kamaru has not been fighting much lately. I mean, he's been very inactive. Let's see. I know he fought Joaquin Buckley last. Yeah, that was June 2025, so over a year ago. So over a year ago, he decisioned Joaquin Buckley. I mean, it was a shutout. He dominated him. I don't know how much we can glean from that. Is it gleam or is it glean? Gleam? Glean? Man, making these videos, guys, you don't realize what you don't know until you try to put something out to the world, and then you wonder what you don't know, because I've never even thought of that before, whether it's gleam with an M or glean with an N. I'm going to say it's gleam with an M. So anyways, we can't gleam that much off of the Joaquin Buckley fight for a few things, or a few reasons. For one, that was down at welterweight, and not only, like, this isn't just a case of, oh, Kamaru's moving up a weight class. This is, Dricus is big, guys. That guy is so big. I don't know how he makes 185. He is so thick. So really, this is almost like a welterweight moving up to fight a light heavyweight, is how I'd almost put it, because Dricus is huge. Kamaru's big too. Kamaru's bricked up, but, you know, ain't no way Dricus is ever in his life making 170. Well, I take that back. I think he actually fought at 170 when he was younger. But we all fought lower when he was younger. So, yeah, this is I don't glean much from the Joaquin Buckley fight. Also, on top of that, let me choose my words here. The guy's kind of a mad hatter, so he's gonna come after me if I'm too harsh. But I don't. Okay, we'll put it this way. Well, where would you guys rank Buckley? Right? I mean, would you say he's top 5? I probably wouldn't. Top 10? I don't even know if I'd put him there. Top 15? probably somewhere in there is where I'd probably put him. So by no means a bad fighter. I mean, that's elite. He is, a top 15 fighter in the best organization in the world. But to compare that to a guy a weight class up that was a former world champion, defended his title, all that, I don't think you can take away a whole lot from that. Also, Kamaru's a wrestler, and he dominated Buckley with the wrestling, and as we've kind of seen throughout Buckley's career, he doesn't really know how to defend a takedown. So, yeah, I'm not gleaning much from that. No, now I'm saying it with an N, gleaning. Guys, I don't know. It's tomato, right? Moving on. Before that Joaquin Buckley fight about a year and a month ago, he fought Khamzat Chimaev. Okay, that was the Chimaev fight. We all remember that one, right? Chimaev absolutely controlled and dominated him round one, as Chimaev does. And then Kamaru started staging a comeback. Probably, if that would have been a 5-round fight, Kamaru probably would have won that one. But still, that one was in October 21st, 2023. So now we're talking, October 23. Now we're talking, 3 years. 2 fights in 3 years with 1 win, 1 loss. But before that, he also had, in May 18th of 2023, the loss by decision to Leon Edwards. And then August 20th, 2022, the KO loss to Edwards. Before that, November 6th, 2021, the unanimous decision win against Colby Covington. So that's our last 5 fights for Kamaru. Let's take a look at Dricus's. I think I remember him, but let's just be safe and take a look. Jog the old memory here. Dricus's last 5. So his last one was Khamzat Chimaev, and he didn't put on a good show on that one. That one was pretty rough. He did not show good takedown defense and ability to get up. But Khamzat is kind of an outlier in that field, though. So I kind of give him a little bit of a pass. It doesn't seem like there's anybody that Khamzat can't take down as long as he's got energy. And that fight, he held up energy-wise good. He didn't run out of steam, really, until the 5th round, but, he wasn't doing a lot on top either. He was just kind of holding and playing it safe. But, he was using his energy to just get those takedowns and hold. And Dricus couldn't do anything about it. So, not a good look for Dricus. But I actually do, because when was that fight? That was August 16th, 2025. So that was almost a year ago. I actually think that was a really good thing for Dricus to take that year off. Because, man, I just judging from his personality and his coach, too. The way his coach talks, his coach's personality. Like, man, I think those guys have probably been locked in a basement for the last year. And no, that's not a gay joke. I'm not going there. I'm not Sean Strickland. But I think they've probably been locked away in a basement for, this last year just wrestling. Just working on the wrestling, the takedown defense, get-ups, things like that. I really think that him being exposed like that in the Khamzat fight probably really made him buckle down on that. So I think this layoff for him is a good thing. Kamaru, I don't. Kamaru, I think that he's gotten to that age where he's being really selective about his fights. He doesn't want to put in too many more camps. Notoriously he has these knee issues. I'm not going to harp on those too much because, he's talked about him. He claims that he can't even walk, and he's got to walk on grass. He can't walk on concrete and all that. I'm not going to dismiss him. I think maybe that's a little bit overblown because he fights just fine. You can tell his knees are super jacked up. You can just look at him and tell that. So I'm not dismissing him completely. I just think maybe that's a little overblown. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but if you can't even walk on concrete, I don't see how you fight so well. But, hey, maybe he's a bigger savage than I give him credit for. But regardless, even if his knee issues are that bad, he's clearly found a way to figure it out and fight through it. So I'm not going to take that into account too much. But I do think, I mean, you don't get better at something by not doing it, and he hasn't been active. Ring rust is going to be a thing. I know some people say it's not real. It is, and he's getting up there in age. I know it's the year of the Unks. That's we've had some great wins by the Unks, but Kamaru hasn't really been in it, and he's got a lot of miles on the clock. And I think this is a bad matchup for him, but we'll get into that. So let's get back to Dricus. So yeah, I think the year off after that Hamzat fight is a good thing for him. Before that, he had the unanimous decision win against Strickland in February 8th, 2025. Before that, he subbed Izzy in the 4th round, August 17th, 24. Before that is when he won the title by split decision against Sean Strickland in January of 2024. I felt like Strickland won that one, but it's splitting hairs really because it was a super close fight. So, and then before that, he beat my boy. That's right, he beat my boy Robert Whitaker in July of 23. So that basically he's 4-1 in his last 5, and it's roughly this last 5 is roughly anyways, he's 4-1. So he's younger, man. He's more active. I really think he's going to have plugged the holes in the wrestling, and I think he's going to be too big and too just Dricus for Kamaru, honestly. I mean, what can you say about Dricus? He just fights like a dummy, doesn't he? I don't know how else to say it, man. I can't. I mean, maybe he's just a genius. He keeps winning. I mean, maybe he's just got something figured out that we don't. Because man, I look at his striking and I don't see a rhyme or a reason. I see a kid 6 months into his MMA journey for striking, just throwing wild stuff and no rhyme or reason and setups and just. But hey, those guys are the hardest ones to spar a lot of times, honestly, because you don't know what they're going to do because what they do doesn't make sense. That's kind of how Dricus is, man. What he does doesn't make sense. There's no rhyme or reason to it. You're not going to catch him in a okay, I'm going to throw a 1, 2, I'm going to pivot, I'm going to come with that hook. You're not going to get that out of Dricus. You're going to get, I'm going to run at you with a hammer fist, then I'm going to kick, then I'm going to throw my fist up in the air, and then maybe I'll swing around with a hook, but then I'm going to jump back, but then I'm going to bull rush you with a takedown, but then I'm going to change my mind and throw an overhand. It just doesn't make sense. It's all over the place. Which, again, and he's going to be stumbling over his feet the whole time and looking like a baby zebra, but hey, it works for him, man. You don't know what that guy's going to do. So, hey, he might have something figured out we don't. But I know how hard it is to go against guys like that because there's just no figuring them out. So, I just don't think Kamaru's going to be able to utilize his wrestling that much. Dricus is so big, so strong. I know Kamaru's big and strong too, but Kamaru's a lot older. And like I said, inactive, a lot of miles on the clock. If I was a betting man, and unfortunately I am, I'm gonna go Dricus on this one. I think I feel pretty good about this one. I think he's a favorite too, right? Let's pull up the DraftKings. DraftKings, sponsored by DraftKings. No, they're not sponsoring me, guys. I'm not that cool yet. Let's just see if we can pull up some odds here. Dricus has got to be a favorite, right? Like minus 300 or something, I think. I mean, I think he's got to be a pretty big favorite. Oh, okay, he's not quite that high. He's negative 218. So yeah, I don't know. Let's just do a little experiment here. What if we put $100 on Dricus? That'd get us 145. $45. 100's too rich for my blood, honestly, but I don't know. Maybe I can find some fun ways to parlay that into something. But yeah, I really think Dricus is. I think Dricus is going to get it done. I don't know about finish. Kamar. I mean, he's a champion, man. He's got that champion mindset. I think it's possible Kamaru, Dricus catches him with something crazy later. Kind of think an Izzy situation where Dricus just keeps beating his head against that brick wall until he beats him down and gets him. I could see something like that happening, but outside of that, I wouldn't be surprised if it went to decision either. But what's the over 2.5 on that one? Oh wow, over 3.5 is negative 210. So yeah, they really think that this one's gonna go long. Yeah, I probably just wouldn't touch any of those. Yeah, give me Dricus. And hey, after this, and full credit, I got this from Brendan Schaub's channel. I did not think of this on my own, unfortunately, but they were pointing out that Dricus is kind of doing a run of the African Kings. We had the African Kings there with Izzy, Francis, and Kamaru. And I guess, technically Dricus is an African champion too, even though he's Dutch. But but yeah, so I mean he's got Izzy, now he's getting Kamaru. So I mean really, if he beats Kamaru here, he kind of has to leave the UFC and go fight Francis to complete his mission, right? I mean, it seems like the logical thing. No, I just thought that was funny when I heard that on Brendan's show. Anyways, I said we wasn't going to go long in this, and I'm already rambling like a motherfucker. So let's move on. Co-main event, we have Jared the Killer Gorilla Cannonier against Christian Leroy Duncan, CLD. This will be a fun one. So we got, man, the Killer Gorilla, he's kind of an ageless wonder, isn't he? He's still doing well at 42 now. But you got him at 5'11", Christian at 6'2". Obviously, like I said, Jared is 42 now. Christian is only 30. Christian 79-inch reach. Jared 77.5. Blah 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 blah. Right. What do they do well? I actually think that now eventually the bottom's got to drop out on Jared. So it always gets tough when guys get up to this age because you don't know exactly when, because it seems like a lot of times when the floor falls out, it falls out hard. But honestly, I think this is a decent matchup for Jared. I think he could get this one done because Christian's more of a, he's got really good movement and he stays on the outside well, and that has given Jared problems in the past. I mean, think like MVP and stuff. But I mean, Christian is no MVP. He's no MVP. So MVP is really awkward, really fast, really in and out. Christian's not that. Christian is good at staying on the out. He's good with the kicks, good with the range, but he's not MVP. And traditionally, I think Jared does pretty good against people that can't hurt him bad with one shot. And I don't think we've really seen that a lot from Christian, unless I'm just, completely misremembering. Let's look at his profile, because I'm not remembering for sure all his last fights completely off the top of my head. Okay, he's got some KOs in there. Fuck do I know. Okay, so his last fight was against Roman Dolidze. Yeah, I remember that one. Unanimous decision. It wasn't that exciting of a fight. It was one of those it is what it is fights. But then Marcus Tulio. Is it Marcus Tulio? Is it Mario Tulio? Hopefully I don't get that wrong. But Tulio. Tulio. He KO'd in the second round. I don't really remember that one. Eric Anders, I have a slight memory of that one, but Eric's kind of passed it a bit, and I'm not talking shit, but it is what it is. And then before that, he decisioned Puliev, and before that, he got decisioned by Gregory Rodriguez. He lost the decision. And Gregory's good, man. Didn't Gregory just beat Cannonier? Let's take a look at that. Was that Cannonier's last fight? Was that Gregory one, or has he fought again since then? I know Gregory KO'd Cannonier not terribly long ago. It's getting hot, guys. I gotta hurry this up. I gotta talk faster. Oh no, Jared's last fight was the. Oh my God, the fuck do I know, guys? Oh my, I'm an idiot. I completely misremembered that. He lost to Michael Venom Page, MVP, by decision. I remember that one. I totally got my wires crossed. That's right. I remember it now. He finished Gregory Rodriguez in the fourth round. That was a back and forth war. For some reason I remember that visual because Gregory hurt him bad, but Jared Cannonier just kept coming back. The guy's a beast, and that's right. He wore him down. Gregory got tired, couldn't take the pressure, and Jared just beat him down and got him in the fourth round. Yeah, oh man, my bad. I feel like such a dummy. Um, sorry, guys. Oh boy. Oh boy, boy, boy. Yeah, that's my bad. Yeah, no. Jared got Gregory, and that was a good win. That was a real good win. But before that, he had lost a unanimous decision to Caio Bahayo. And before that, he had lost by KO in the fourth round to Nasruddin Imavov. Before that, he won a unanimous decision against Marvin Vettori. Where is Marvin, guys? He's still in the UFC, right? I mean, he's got to be. He's like their only Italian guy. I like Marvin. He's he's dumb as a box of rocks, but I fucking love the guy. Like, and he's had a rough time, man. He's had. I mean, if you guys don't know Marvin's story, man, his brother died in a house fire recently. His brother was like his best friend, man. Marvin's had it rough. I hope that guy's doing okay. We haven't seen him in a while, I don't think. I don't remember him fighting in a while, man. I really hope that guy's doing okay. I think he's a good kid. You can tell, right? You can tell when someone, I mean, he doesn't seem like the brightest. Okay, I was about to mix my euphemisms. Is that what they are? Euphemisms? I don't know. I was gonna say he doesn't seem like the brightest tool in the shed, but it's sharpest tool in the shed, brightest crayon in the box, I think. Anyways, he had the whole wearing his shorts backwards thing, and people roasted him for it. But you can just tell, right? If you know people, and you can read people, Marvin's a good kid. He's a good kid, and he's had a hell of a time lately, man. So I hope Marvin's doing all right. But anyway, so that's our tale of kind of some of their past fights. I'll be honest with you guys. I think Jared can get him. I like CLD. I think he is showing a lot of promise, and he's still only 30. And that's the tough thing also about picking guys this early into their careers, or this young. They can make pretty huge improvements in between fights. So I wouldn't say this is a lock or anything, especially with Jared being 42. But honestly, I think it's a good matchup for Jared. Like I said, Jared seems to struggle the most against people that can like really hurt him with one shot, or are just like the elite of the elite at that outside striking game. Like Nasruddin. Nasruddin isn't necessarily a one punch guy. I mean, I know he KO'd him, but you know what I mean. It was the fourth round. But Nasruddin does have power. But you know what I'm saying. Like Nasruddin is also just a very elite, elusive, calculated striker. He's got good wrestling. So, I think I would go with Jared in this one. I think Jared can get this one done. What are the odds on this? Oh wow, DraftKings thinks I'm super wrong. They got Jared at a plus 310. I can tell you guys right now, I will be playing that. I mean, don't get mad at me if it loses, But I think there's value on that. I mean, if it was 50-50, I would probably just leave it alone because, like I said, Jared's getting older and stuff. But if you're giving me plus 310, I really think Jared can get this one done. So, yeah, give me Jared Cannonier. Moving on. Oh, guys, I got to talk faster. It's so hot in here. Oh, I got to start doing these videos like early in the morning, at night, something like that, so I don't have to worry about the cooler situation. All right, we got Chase Hooper going up against... Where'd the names go? Mitch Ramirez. There we go. So Chase Hooper 16-5-1, Mitch Ramirez 8-3. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't know if I've seen Mitch fight. Is he new to the UFC? Let's pull up his profile. He doesn't look familiar. Okay, he's had a couple fights in the UFC, but I probably don't remember them because they were both losses. So he lost on Dana White's Contender Series against Carlos Prates. Did he fight Carlos Prates on the Contender Series? Jeez, no wonder he lost. So he got KO'd in that one, round two. Then he went and fought A. Tavares in LFA, KO'd him round one. And then they went ahead and gave him a chance in the UFC, it looks like, where he got KO'd by Thiago Moises in 2024. Then he also got KO'd by Emma Davis in 2025, July 2025, so about a year ago. Okay. So he's not very good. Is basically where we're at on that, because Tiago's good, but Tiago's way past it. I don't even really know who the other guy is. So, not to be a dick, but he's not very good. Chase Hooper 6'1", Mitch 5'11". This is a 55 fight. I do believe I heard that Chase missed weight today. I think I heard that Mitch did as well, but don't quote me on that. I'm not sure, but I am fairly certain that I heard that Chase missed weight today, which Chase used to fight at featherweight, and I mean he's kind of skinny. Like, I don't think he's a massive 155. I get he's tall for the class, but I mean, you guys know, I mean, he's pretty skinny. He is filling out, but that would worry me a little bit, just in regards to, was there an injury, or what went wrong in camp that he missed weight? Because Chase is a good kid, man. Chase takes the sport seriously. He's had it rough too, man. If you ever hear his story too, you guys should look it up. He kind of went into some of his story with Michael Bisping a few years back, I think, and yeah, he's the kid's had it. He's came up in the school of hard knocks. We'll put it that way, and he's a good kid. So he's not the type that's just going to be nonchalant about this and just whatever and miss weight. So the fact that he missed weight, by the reporting I heard, he missed and then didn't even attempt to go try to cut more. It was just, he just took his fine, and it is what it is. So a little worried there. I don't know what. I feel pretty confident something had to have happened in camp for that to happen with Chase. But anyways, he's 6'1", Mitch 5'11", 55 weight class. Chase is still only 26, man. He is so young. Mitch is 33. Chase 74-inch reach. Mitch 71. Chase is southpaw. Mitch orthodox. The rest, blah, blah, blah. We kind of know the game. Chase is always kind of working on his striking. He's a little wild. His chin's a little up there. He's not amazing at it, but he's trying. He came into this as the M&M's kid with this that just had the jiu-jitsu. He was the M&M jiu-jitsu kid, but he's been trying to fill out. He's been trying to work on his game, do striking. Personally, I think he should leave some of the flashy stuff away. He likes to those spinny kicks, spinny shit. As who is it? The Diaz brothers. This called it spinny shit. I don't know. I could be wrong about who made that joke, but he likes the spinny shit, the fancy stuff. Man, when you are just getting your feet wet and striking, and especially having to get your feet wet at the elite level, man, you really just need to stick with the basics. He really just needs a coach, a boxing coach. He needs a boxing coach and a Muay Thai coach that can just teach him. He needs the Muay Thai coach that can teach him, because he's long. He's got the long limbs. So he needs a Muay Thai coach that can teach him just some good Muay Thai kicks, attacking the calves, getting in good with some good elbows and the clinch work, things like that, since he's already good at grappling. And then just a good boxing coach that is just going to teach him the fundamentals, keeping your hands up, keeping your chin tucked, a good jab, a good cross, some good setups for hooks and uppercuts, I think that's all the kid needs. His grappling is already lights out, and he just needs a good boxing coach and a good Muay Thai coach, and he needs to leave the fancy spinning shit to the side. Save that for the dudes that came up doing like capoeira and karate and things like that. So, But yeah, I don't really have a good lean on this fight because I don't really know a whole lot about Mitch other than obviously he's not very good. Chase is pretty good. So normally I would just hammer Chase and be like, this Chase definitely has this. But given what I said about the weight cut thing and not really knowing what's gone wrong in Chase's camp, I would say this one is a risky one to bet. Like, bet at your own risk. What are the odds on this one? We got Chase Hooper is a negative minus 375. So, yeah, Chase is a huge favorite. I just leave this one alone, honestly, guys, because we don't really know what happened in camp. Chase will probably win even if he is a bit hurt. But, yeah, I'd just leave this one alone from a betting standpoint. Moving on, we have Tabitha Ricci against Fatima Klein. Isn't Tabitha Ricci, she's dating that Irish boxer kid, right? Callum Walsh, right? Yeah, I think her and Callum Walsh are together. So, yeah. Callum seems like a good kid. I haven't really seen him box. I need to watch him box. Dana seems to like him. So we got Ricci at 5'1". Wow, she's short. Fatima 5'6". This is the strawweight division. Tabitha Ricci is 12-4. Fatima is 9-1. Tabitha 31. Fatima 26. Tabitha 61-inch reach. Fatima 67. Both orthodox. Blah blah, blah blah. Man, I don't know. I'm not. I know I've seen both of them fight, but nothing's really stood out. Let me see if I can get a refresher, a reminder of some of these fights. So Fatima, she beat Angela Hill by decision, her last one. Before that, M. Martinez KO round 3. Before that, V. Dudakova by KO round 2. Before that, she lost to Jasmine Jasudavicius by decision. Yeah, that's all the other UFC fights. So this will be her 5th UFC fight. And so far, she is 3-1 in the UFC, so not doing too bad. Those are good names. Angela Hill's good. Angela Hill's like a real good test to see if you're good. If you can beat Angela Hill, you're pretty good. And then I don't recall the Martinez fight, but I know Dudakova. She's not horrible. So, yeah, Fatima's doing all right. Let's take a look at Tabitha's last 5 fights. So she lost against Verna Jandarova, her last one, unanimous decision. No shame in that. Verna's very, very good. Before that, she beat Amanda Ribas by KO, round 2. Impressive. Ribas is good. Before that, she lost to Yang Xiaonan by unanimous decision. Again, no shame in that. Yang Xiaonan is a very, very good fighter. Before that, she beat Angela Hill by decision. Before that, she beat Tisha Pennington, formerly Torres, by split decision. So yeah, that's a pretty good run too. She's 3-2 in her last 5. That's a pretty good run. I'm gonna say this one's probably gonna be kind of a hard-fought decision. What are some odds on this one? So we got. Oh, okay. The odds makers think Tabitha's going to get absolutely smoked. They have her at plus 370. With the over 2.5 at negative 360. Well, if you think she's so outclassed that she's a plus 370, you must think she's going to get finished. Why is the over so negative? I don't know. Yeah, that's not the read I get on it, guys. Just comparing opponents. Honestly, I don't. I might throw a little flyer, a little juicy something on Tabitha Ricci, a few bucks, at plus 370. Just comparing records. I mean, like I said, I'm not like remembering real specifics on their fights. Guys, I watch all these fights, but when you watch all the fights, there's so many fights. It's so hard to just kind of pull from memory the ones that didn't really stand out, and so That's not me talking shit. They could have stood out for somebody else, but for me personally, it didn't really stick in my head clearly. So, yeah, Tabitha Ricci. We'll go Tabitha Ricci. Throw a little bit on her. I think she can get it done. Moving on, we have Tommy Gun McMillan, right? That's his nickname, isn't it? Tommy Gun, Tommy Machine Gun, something like that, against Alberto Montez. Boy, Tommy's a fun one, isn't he? Yeah. I like watching him fight. Don't know how far he's going to go. He's pretty reckless. He's not particularly cautious, that one. But he makes good television. That's why he's fun to watch. I'm going to say that Alberto Montez is probably making his debut or something. They don't even have a picture of him up on the ESPN. So he's 12-1. Tommy is 10-0. Now, Tommy got a lot of flack. Oh, and Tommy's like big for the featherweight division. So this is featherweight. Tommy's 6 feet tall. This Alberto cat is 5'7". Tommy's still 28. Alberto 32. So they're both pretty young. Tommy 74-inch reach. Alberto 69-inch reach. Both orthodox. Tommy's significant strikes landed per minute. This is what I'm talking about with his aggression, like how just wild and crazy he is. 9.87 significant strikes landed per minute. That is massive. This kid is just all in your face, all over it, and which, like I said, very reckless. Now, I'd heard somebody say the other day, I can't remember who it was. It might have been Aaron Bronstetter. But somebody said the other day that Tommy's actually a really good wrestler, and that's why he feels like he can afford to be kind of reckless and crash in. I think they said he was like all-state from Wyoming or Montana or something like that. So, I don't know. He's a fun fighter, though, man. He's fun to watch. I like him. He's entertaining. I don't know how far he'll go. He's got to clean a lot of stuff up, but at 28, he's got time. So, what are the odds on that? Because I'm going to say give me Tommy. Tommy, yeah, is a negative 166. Well, in light of that, I don't know if I'd put money on it because, like I said, he is wild and he could get caught with something. So, I don't know anything about Alberto Montez. So, yeah. Maybe leave that one alone, but I'm going to pick Tommy. I think Tommy probably just does Tommy things and overwhelms him. Let's get through these guys. Oh my God, it's hot in here. And I've rambled. Sorry. I've been rambling and rambling and rambling. This feels like it's already been hella long. So, okay, we got Austin Bashi against Jose Miguel Delgado. Austin Bashi 14-1. Jose Miguel Delgado is 11-2. 5'6" for Austin, 5'11" for Jose, 24 Austin, 28 Jose, so both super young. 70-inch reach Austin, 74 Jose, blah 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 blah. Well, actually, no. Let's unblah because we have 1.75 significant strike landed average for Austin with a 7.48 for Jose. But it is like completely flipped because on the takedown average you have 1.51 for Jose but 7.81 for Austin Bashi. So clearly we have a wrestler against striker. 8 times out of 10 when you have wrestler versus striker, the wrestler wins. So let's go Austin Bashi. What are the odds on that one? It's a pick'em. Throw Austin Bashi in a parlay. Fun little parlay, a couple bucks. So you can get that plus money. And moving on, we have Jean-Paul. Dear God. How do you say that one? Jean-Paul Labosnoyana? Yani? Laboisiani. Laboisianaye. Boy, you guys would have an impossible time saying that 6 times fast. Jean-Paul Labesnoyani against... This one's no better. Seokyuin Co. Okay. Jean-Paul is 10-2. Co is 13-2. Yeah, we're just going to go CO on that. Jean Paul doesn't even have a picture. Must be pretty new. CO has one. This is in the welterweight division. The stats, blah blah blah. I'm not gonna get into this one really a lot because I don't know either guy. Not familiar with either one. Looks like the stats are fairly even-ish. Looks like probably Jean Paul's a bit more of a striker and CO is a bit more of a wrestler. So we'll go CO. But, I don't really know either of them, so we'll see. Moving on, we got Levi Rodriguez Jr., 5-0 against Felipe Franco, 10-2. This is light heavyweight. Both in their 20s, both around the same height. Not familiar with either of these guys. Levi Rodriguez doesn't even have a picture, so he's probably pretty new as well. They're both Brazilian. Looks like another Strikler wrestler. Strikler. We got another Strikler against another wrestler. Oh boy, guys. It's so hot. My brain is literally cooking. That's what's going on. I hope you realize I'm putting myself through this for all of you, and I know you appreciate it, and I appreciate the fuck out of all of you. You guys are awesome. So, okay. But we have Felipe has 3 takedown average, with Levi having 0, and his significant strike numbers are 4.5 against Felipe's that are 1.8. So another case of wrestler versus striker. You know how I feel about that. Probably the wrestler. What are the odds? Oh, I didn't even say the odds for the last one. That Jean Paul against CO is Jean Paul is a plus 154 underdog. So make of that what you will. But anyways, in this one, Felipe Franco is a plus 130 underdog. Levi Rodriguez is negative 155. So I guess they actually favor the seemingly striker in this one. Moving on. How long is this card? Okay. Neither of these guys have a picture or stats, so they both must be brand new to the UFC. Like, literally, the stat page is, empty on them. They don't even have a reach on Damian Anderson. So we got Ezra Elliott, 7-0. Damian Anderson, 5-0. This is in the featherweight division. What does DraftKings say? DraftKings might not even have them. Oh, no, they do. DraftKings has Ezra Elliott as a plus 100. Damian Anderson as a negative 120. I'm just not going to say anything about this one because I have no idea who either of these dudes are. Moving on, we have Alden Correa, 12-3 against Stuart Nicole, 8-3. This is flyweight. Not really familiar with either guy. Looks like the stats are pretty similar. Probably both strikers. Yeah. Both relatively close to the same age. Late 20s, early 30s. This will just be a fun one, I imagine. What's DraftKings say about it? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay. So this is the biggest differential line on the whole card. They have Alden Cora as a minus 1,100 favorite. So no love for Australia. Apparently Stuart Nicole is from Australia. No love for the Australian in this one. Stuart Nicole is a plus 700. Who is Alden Correa fought? So I'm not familiar with the name. But DraftKings sure loves the guy. He's only had 2 fights in the UFC. He KO'd A. Costa and he decisioned El Guril. Okay. So, off to a good start in the UFC, but only 2 fights in. What about this Stuart Nicole guy? Let's check him out. He has had 3 fights in the UFC. Wow, how is he still in the UFC? He has had 3 fights in the UFC and lost all 3 of them. He got subbed in round 1 by Jay Aguilar. He lost a decision to El Roca. And he got KO'd in the second round by A. Costa. Okay, so Alden Correa is going to win. Yeah, that's what we've established. Aldo Correa is going to win. So, okay, moving on. RJ Harris, 5-0. No picture against Alvin Hines, 7-1. This is heavyweight. Oh, we get a sloppy heavyweight fight. They're both Americans. Basically, no stats on RJ Harris. He must be new. Maybe he's an Oklahoma boy. I hope they brought in some Oklahoma boys for this OKC card. Right? Like, I feel like that's what they used to do when they would travel to some of these other cities and stuff, right? They would bring in some actual local talent from that city. I hope they brought in some OKC boys. Or, at least some Oklahoma boys. That's what they should do. I hope this guy is Oklahoma. But, oh, well, he's tall, man. He's, this RJ Harris cat's 6'6". 27 years old, 80-inch reach. This Alvin Hines dude is 6'2", 264. He's 34. What does DraftKings say? DraftKings has RJ Harris at a plus 110. Alvin Hines negative 130. Well, does ESPN say where these people are from? It says USA. RJ Harris. This will be his first UFC fight. But he's on out of his last 5, he's won all of them. His team is Sprawlin' and Brawlin' MMA. I am not familiar with that one. Let's look that up because I'm curious if he's an Oklahoma boy. Sprawlin' and Brawlin'. Yes, guys, I am a pecker. I peck at my keys. Don't judge me. Okay, the gym is non-findable. Let's try to search in his name. Sorry, guys, I'm going down a rabbit hole. You guys probably don't give a flying fuck who this guy is. Sorry, I get a thought process and I gotta go with it. I gotta see it through. I started wondering if he is from Oklahoma, and I just want to know. Oh no, fuck this guy. He's from Ohio. Fuck this guy. I don't care. Does seem pretty good though. So if he's plus money, I'll throw a few bucks on him. Yeah, give me RJ Harris. We'll throw a few bucks on RJ Harris, and now, finally, our last fight. We have Anna Melisano, no picture, so she's probably new, against Dione. Maybe in Brazil it would just be Diane. I don't know. Dione. We'll say Dione Barboza. What's DraftKings say about them? They have, figured because she's the new one. They have Anna Melisano at plus 470 to Diona Barboza's negative 650. So that's probably the second biggest gap on the card. Yeah, I think we'll just wrap this one up by saying Dione Barboza. We'll go Dione Barboza. Look, guys, the bets I think are the funnest ones is RJ Harris, Tommy McMillan, Jared Cannonier, and Dricus Du Plessis. The one I'm most confident about is Dricus Du Plessis, honestly. I feel very, 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 very confident about Dricus Du Plessis winning this fight. So if you can find something else fun to parlay that with that you think is also like really high odds to maybe get it closer to plus money or at plus money, if you don't think the injury is a factor with Chase Hooper, you could try parlaying that with Chase Hooper. That might get you towards plus 100 or so. If you're like me and you have a decent amount of faith in Jared Cannonier, you could try parlaying that. That would be pretty big, but Jared Cannonier's already a huge underdog, so I would just leave that one as a single play. I wouldn't parlay anything with Tommy McMillan because he's a wild man. So, man, that's He's the favorite, but who knows on that. Trying to see, is there any other like real safe ones? I mean, you could maybe do parlay it with some overs, possibly. Like you could maybe parlay it with like an over 1.5 with the Tabitha Ricci Fatima climb, and that might get you closer to plus money. And the problem is there's just so many kind of like new and unknown guys on this card. It can be real hard to tell what's going to happen, and a lot of times these new guys, they don't make it through an entire fight, especially when it's their first fight in the UFC. They're either gonna win by some sort of finish or get finished. It seems more often than not that's how UFC debuts go. So I'd maybe look into some of those. Some of these debutees that are making their first fight in the UFC. There's like quite a few like brand new people here on this card. So I might play with some of those as far as just picking any of those to not go the distance. You could see what the odds are for that. You could play with parlaying them together. I mean, I don't know. Guys, I have good weeks betting and I have bad weeks. So, take everything I say with a grain of salt, because honestly, I bet more. I don't bet very much, guys. Like I bet as fun, not to make money, right? Because I think that when you're betting to make money, that's kind of, there's guys that are good at it, but for me personally, betting to make money is kind of a fool's errand. So I bet to have fun, because when I put a little money on the fight, even if I only put, $1 here or $5 there, it raises the stakes for me, and the fight just makes it funner to watch, honestly. So when I talk about betting, you got to take it all with a bit of a grain of salt, because a lot of the bets I place is just for fun. I'll tell you the ones that I feel really good about, like the Drickus one. Like, if I was a betting man, that if I was one of those kind of people, because I think there's still value at negative 200 215, whatever he was. So if I was like a bettor, I would feel confident enough in that one that if I was one of those guys that put thousands of dollars per fight, I'd probably put thousands of dollars on Drickus, because I feel pretty damn convicted that he's going to beat Kamaru. But, most of these are just, I'll pick, an underdog or something, or just a guy that I think there's value on because he has a shot, like Jared, Like I said, Christian Leroy Duncan's good, and, he definitely might win, and that's how the odds makers have it. But I think Jared's good. I think he's still got life left in him. So if you're going to give me plus 370, I'm going to throw $5 on him. Why not? And, it's, so I don't get a fancy coffee next time I'm in town if I lose, whatever. It's just fun, just a fun way to kind of add a little more spice to those fights. So yeah, just wanted to give that disclaimer so y'all don't come after me when I lose y'all money, because I'm telling you, I have weeks that I just lose everything because I just place these fun bets, and I have weeks that it kind of works out and it does good, but it's very up and down. It's hit and miss. So, just keep that in mind. If you're going to follow my bets, I bet for fun. But anyways, guys, that's the video. So as always, we are going to close with a little words of encouragement. Get out, exercise, do something, preferably in a gym, because it is hot as Satan's balls everywhere lately. So get out to a gym that has air conditioning and a fan blowing on you. Get 3 fans blowing on you. Lift some weights. Go join your first MMA class. Go do a jiu-jitsu class. I promise it's not as scary to start as a lot of people think. Go spend time with family. Call your mom. Call your dad. If you don't have a mom and dad, call your brother. Call your sister. If you don't have a brother and sister, call your friend. If you don't have a friend, get in the comments. Go follow me on social and send me a message. I'm your friend. So, and I mean, I really mean that. That's not a generic. Obviously, I do have my own stuff going on, and I can't get to everybody all the time, but I do check these comment sections very often. I check my socials very often, and I try to get back to as many people as I can, because I think community is important, and I think what we're building here is very special, and I think the message is special. Like I said in my last video, we're growing this thing, we're building this community, and we're doing it brick by brick, and we're doing it together, because this is not me, this is we. And I really mean that from the bottom of my heart, guys. So hope you enjoyed this breakdown. I think it was very long-winded, so I hope you stuck with me until the end to get that positive message, because I think that was the most important part. If you guys don't start sticking around to the end, I'm going to have to start putting that in the beginning so you make sure to get it, and then you're going to think, well, this isn't even an MMA channel. This is a wellness channel, but I assure you, it is an MMA channel, and we talk MMA, and we talk the nitty-gritty, and we get into it, and we're going to do all kinds of fun, interesting, exciting things that nobody else in this space is doing. But we are also going to talk about mental health, and we are going to talk about depression, and we're going to talk about anxiety, and we're going to talk about getting out there and taking one step forward every day and conquering it, because there is no more important cause or mission or purpose in the world than that. And I truly believe that, because we live in crazy times, truly. And so many people are struggling with loneliness and depression and anxiety, and it just gets missed way too much, and there's way too much negativity in the world, and we're going to change that. Obviously, we can't change all of it, but we're going to do our part. That's what we're here for, and that's what we all have to do, is just do our part a little bit, little by little, every day. So anyways, guys, that's it for the video, the breakdown. I'm going to try to do a live chat after the card tomorrow, and then we're just gearing up for that part 1 of the Fertitta documentary dropping on Monday. I'm so excited for that, guys. I am so nervous for it too, though, because you guys have enjoyed the content so much that it's humbled me, and it's really it's really made me realize that I have to hold even myself to a much higher standard for content, and I really want to knock that one out of the park for you guys, because I'm so fascinated by it. Like I said in the last video, I've uncovered so much information on them. Like I said, it was just going to be a one and done video, and I've realized that there's so much that it's going to end up having to be 3 parts, and I'm so excited. I'm so pumped for it, and yeah, I hope I can do it justice. But anyways, this has gone long enough. Thank you, guys. Bye.